Breaing. Couple gets a room and shakes the hotel toilet. I was getting high on melon when I suddenly realized that the mosaic head female lead was actually my fiancée. What man can wear this green hat? I blacked out. While going crazy to track down the adulterer, I drew cakes for my fiancée's whole family. Let's eat. When you're full, I'll send you all on your way. I'll go. It's too powerful. A colleague shared the news with me with an excited face. A couple in a hotel room. Play to flower. The wall-mounted toilet was shattered. The water pipe spraying wildly. The hotel owner dragged the two people, who were only wrapped in bathrobes, to ask for compensation. The other side bit the bullet and said it was the quality of the toilet. The two sides argued. The video was cropped and didn't show their faces. The comment section was full of gloating, and I followed suit. This dude is really fierce. Even hitting the ground pile is not as good as you. My co-worker bumped my elbow and leered. They must have been in the middle of something intense when they were interrupted. She's got a great body. Look at her legs. Look at her legs. He paused to zoom in and out. I said in disgust. You should have a better relationship. It's getting more and more obscene. However, when I looked past his cell phone, I accidentally saw a tattoo on the woman's ankle. Why is it exactly the same as my girlfriend's? In an instant, it was as if I was struck by lightning. The whole person froze. That I accompanied her to get a tattoo. The pattern was specially designed. Rarely seen. I comforted myself in my heart. It's okay. It's okay. Just rare does not mean she is the only one. But once the suspicion arose, it was impossible to control. I sat on pins and needles in front of my co-workers for a few minutes. But I hid in the bathroom stall, turned the video to its slowest speed and carefully analyzed it frame by frame. The pink, diamond-studded manicure. The mole on her right arm. That's her. Luna. My girlfriend. Cheating on me. And who was the adulterer? My mind went dizzy. The hand clutching the cell phone trembled uncontrollably. Even breathing hurts. I don't go to work anymore. I took a vacation and went to the hotel in the video. The boss is a Northeasterner. Very talkative. Holding a cigarette, and I nagged. Oh my God. Nowadays couples play with thieves. You can't even dare to think about it. When I went up, their beds were full of props, arranged in a row, like instruments of torture. That girl looks good. But in reality, she's so wild. She's not afraid to play with herself. I couldn't believe my ears. Luna has always been a reserved and quiet goddess in front of me. We've been together for years. And she's always had a lukewarm response to that. Every time. I have to beg before she agrees. She has to turn off the lights and lie there like a dead person, passively cooperating with me. I originally thought she was born this way. I didn't realize that in front of others. She was such a slut. I slipped the boss $1 and said I wanted to see the surveillance. The boss was immediately wary. This is a proper hotel. There are absolutely no ghost probes in the room. The ones in the lobby are fine. Brother. Please help me. When the boss saw my haggard face and green light, he immediately understood. Is that woman your daughter-in-law? I didn't say anything. The boss's empathy as a man rose and he slipped the money back to me. Don't say anything. Brother. I'll help you. I finally saw the man's face. It was him. Leo, the vice president of Luna. A man in his 40s with a big belly. I remember attending the company's annual meeting with Luna. Leo has a wife and child. At the scene, he was holding the kids and feeding them, helping his wife to put on her shoes. The image of a good man who cares about his family. Why? I can't figure it out. My girlfriend is willing to be a third wife to an old married man. Am I that bad? She lives in my house. She doesn't have to pay rent. And I even give her some pocket money every month. As long as I'm free, I'll take her to and from work and cook for her. Usually she buys whatever she wants. As long as I can afford it. And never misses a beat. Even when her brother Ryan couldn't find a job. I arranged it for him. I asked myself if I really gave my heart to her. I can't think about it. It's all tears. I sat on the curb and smoked cigarette after cigarette. Tick-tock. Luna sent a message. Hubby. I want to eat marinated duck intestines. Bring me one after work. Eat me. Live with me. Green me. And still want to make me? What's the point? Am I a cheap person? A vicious thought rises in my heart. I want to take revenge. It was a bit late when I arrived home. Luna was spread out on the couch playing. Her little mouth pouting with some displeasure. Why are you so late? I'm hungry. You can't think for yourself when you're hungry. You wait for me to serve you everything. I tried my best to stabilize my emotions. Not letting her see the difference. I'm sorry. Baby. I worked late. I opened the marinades one by one and greeted her to come and eat. She just sat down beside me. I coldly asked a question. Why is there a red mark on your neck? She blushed and reached up to fix her hair in an attempt to hide it. Mosquito bites. I think. It's been months. Where would a mosquito come from? It's probably an allergy to something. I stopped asking questions and watched quietly as her mind wandered. The way she ate was obviously a bit unnatural. I drew a tissue to help her wipe her mouth. And purposely sniffled as I approached her. What do you smell like? Like it's a man's? Huh? Someone in the office smokes and it's caught on. I guess. I shook my head and said. It's not the smell of smoke. It's the scent. A man's scent. Her face went white and her eyes widened. Say. Did you secretly use my shower gel? She breathed a sigh of relief and poutingly hammered my chest. I'm just teasing you. Baby loves me so much. Surely she wouldn't find a man behind my back. That's for sure. She laughed awkwardly. You're sweating like a pig after I've played you twice in a minute. Aren't you? Let's see how you lacked when I show you my cards. She asked me to join her. But I said I'd eaten overtime. I bought it for you. You've been hungry for half a day. Eat more. I even thoughtfully opened a can of beer for her and watched her eat. Eat up. I've spiced it up for you. It's good for sleeping. Even if we broke up, we should settle some scores. This night Luna actually went against the norm and took the initiative to have sex with me. But in my heart there is only a pang of revulsion. Push said overtime to tired. Sighed pretend to sleep. After a while, I heard her deep sniffles. I got up and called her. But there was no response. Confirming that she was sleeping enough. I picked up her cell phone and unlocked it with her fingerprint. Who's better than me compared to your boyfriend? Of course it's you. He always makes me beg for mercy. He's just a guy who makes me sick when he touches me. If it wasn't for the fact that he's been chasing me for a long time and he's got a good offer, I wouldn't be with him. The same goes for that yellow-faced woman in my house. She's getting fat and I have no desire for her now. You're the one who's got more tricks up your sleeve. When are you going to leave her? Baby. Hold on. When I get my husband's resources, I'll kick her out right away. I'm traveling on business on Friday. I bought a few new props. I love business trips. Countless conversations. Even on our Valentine's Day date. The two of them managed to chat on site. Turns out in her mind, I'm just an ATM. Shocked. Angry. Heartbroken. I'm guessing business trip is the code word between them. Check this keyword. Slip it times without bottoming out. I guess there are hundreds of times. I looked at Luna's sleeping side. Unconsciously. Images of her and Leo in ungodly positions came to me. What poses? What moaning? What props? I could barely keep my hand from clamping down on her neck. Calm. It's too cheap to strangle this pair of dogs. I'm going to make their lives worse than death. I photographed the evidence and installed a small program in her phone. After that, all her messages would be synchronized to me. The next day, I drove Luna to work as usual. She said my parents are coming over next week to discuss our marriage. Don't worry. I won't let my aunt and uncle down. I asked someone to look into this, Leo. A son-in-law who relies on his father-in-law for his business. How dare he have an affair? Let's scare them first. Let's mess with their mindset. I posted a top ad for him on the same city. Professional unclogging of sewers. Cheap. Good for you. I opened a new number. I sent a message to Leo's wife. Old bitch. A sow who only gives birth. Your husband doesn't love you anymore. Why don't you get a divorce? I heard Leo hasn't been to work for days. He's been receiving inexplicable phone calls. And he's overwhelmed. Luna used the name of work to send a message to Leo. The other party did not care about her. It is very doubtful whether she sent a message to her wife. Luna's mood is obviously affected. Even when her parents came, they were always distracted and kept looking at their cell phones. The concubine doesn't give a damn. I do. I took all my annual leave at once and took my aunt and uncle around. More attentive and nicher than receiving clients. They laughed their asses off. Thinking their own daughters ate me to death. Drift away. If you guys don't float. I can't even play the scene behind me. Ryan came to visit that day. And I had dinner with the whole family. After a few glasses of wine, Tang's dad patted me on the shoulder. Xiao Zhang Our family is not a rich and powerful family. But for Liu Yu we are devoted to all the heart and soul. Since childhood did not let her suffer a little bit. In the future when you two are together, you should also take good care of her. Don't let her suffer. Uncle, don't worry. I will definitely treat Liu Yu well. Auntie and I have seen how you've behaved these past few days. You're really good. Uncle. You're too kind. I'm going to marry Liu Yu. You guys are my real parents. So naturally I can't be ambiguous. Tang's mom took over. There's really no room for ambiguity when it comes to marriage. What did you think about the bride price? I don't know what the custom is on the woman's side. Tang's mom held up two fingers. 10,000. I didn't say anything and lowered my eyes. Thinking I was unwilling, Tang's mother hurriedly explained. In our hometown, it's not uncommon to pay 10. 0 or 400. 0 for a daughter-in-law. Liu Yu is in a better position than all of them. So I can't let the townspeople look down on me. I still didn't say anything. Ryan began to speak up as well. Yeah. Not to mention the fact that my sister looks like this. She's good enough to be a star. I laughed and went straight for a heartfelt confession. Willow is more beautiful than any star in my heart. In my heart she is priceless. Her willingness to marry me is a blessing that I've cultivated in my life. It's worth it to give everything I have. She looked at me and my expression was a bit complicated. There was surprise. There was touching. And there was a faint trace of resistance. So, I have discussed with my parents. The bride price. My family intends to contribute 10,000. Tang's dad choked on a mouthful of wine in his throat in excitement. How much did you say? 500,000. Hearing the figure of 10,000. Luna's eyes also lit up. Really? I took her hand. I nodded my head with affection and determination. Auntie and uncle were right about you. We're relieved to leave Luna in your hands. The corners of her mom and dad's mouths were about to split. And they were pouring me food and wine. They praised me a lot. They think I'm trustworthy from the first time they met me. And they like me more and more this time. I smiled and catered too. In my heart is a burst of contempt. Money in place like. I monitored Luna's cell phone. And I already knew what she and her parents were planning. The bride price will be as much as you can ask for. 10,000 is definitely more than they expected. Ryan's eyes twinkle, and he wants another piece of the pie. Brother-in-law. You're so good to my sister. Surely you can't treat me any worse. Right? That's natural. Ryan said that jobs nowadays are low-paying, and the supervisors are stupid. He has a friend who started his own business and now earns over $10,000 a month. He'd like to give it a try. I thought to myself. That's really nice of you. A junior college education. No bullshit skills. Dirty work do not want to do. This month's salary is given by my friend for my face. I'm not sure if I can do it. But I'm sure I can do it. He said. I said my family has a few sets of old house recently to be demolished. It is estimated that the loss of 10,000 yuan. I'll give my brother 10,000 to start his own business. With the remaining 10,000, I plan to buy another school district house and put it directly under Liu Yu's name. Ryan rushed to give me a toast. He bragged to me that he must be a business wizard. Tomorrow, I will go to quit my job to see the project. And I am guaranteed to make a steady profit. Even Luna, who was absent my tall night, took the initiative to hold my hand. Drawing a cake. 1 is still drawing. 2 is also drawing. I'm not afraid to make it too big. The family was immersed in great joy. No one noticed the coolness under my eyes. It feels good to be held in high esteem, doesn't it? Laugh all you want. The higher you're held up, the harder you'll fall. The foreplay is almost over. The next moment is about to enter the hunting moment. After a day, I grabbed Luna a word and started to make trouble. Day after day do what cannot. Make the demon first place. Just like you. You can't live well even if you get married. Alex. What do you mean? Literally. I brought up all the old scores from the past. I criticized her for not being considerate. Not being able to do housework. And not being good at anything. Luna was shocked. Usually she's the one pointing her nose at me and telling me what's wrong with me, and what's wrong with me. Today I've turned the tables. She was so angry that she copied the remote control and smashed it on my face. The Cold War began. In the past. She and I have a little conflict. No matter who is right and who is wrong, I take the initiative to bow down. Not only to say good words but also to give gifts. This time I do not. Just cold. 3 days passed. The two of us were under one roof, treating each other like air. Awkward. Uncomfortable. Tortured. But at times like this, it's all about who can't handle it first. Sure enough, Luna couldn't take it anymore and ran to the hotel to complain to her parents. Her mom and dad called to persuade us. I have too much of a reputation for licking my knees in the early days. So they were a bit condescending when they talked to me. Men shouldn't be so careful. Apologize to my daughter. Or you'll regret it later. I'm really lol. The bride price is not even in hand. And so on the nose. When their own daughter is a true scripture I have to marry. I suppressed my displeasure. Auntie and uncle. In fact, I did it on purpose. Find a place where no one is around, and I'll tell you in secret. I said that in 2 days' time. It will be the day of my love with Luna. And I want to give her a surprise. I've been intentionally picking fights to piss her off for a while. This is called wanting to raise the bar before suppressing it. Tang's mom immediately burst out laughing after hearing this. Xiao Zhang. You're still a romantic. Auntie and uncle. You must cooperate with me. Never hide it from her. On the same day, I contacted a few of her girlfriends and created a group. I briefly explained my plan to surprise Luna on her anniversary. After the wedding, Luna will be a wife and will have more things to worry about. So I wanted to create as many memories for her as possible before she got married. One by one, her girlfriends were bursting with envy. They were saying that Will-O must have saved the earth in her past life to meet me. I also sent a screenshot of a meme. All the planning, process, gifts, etc. that I did. Asked everyone no? Everyone was talking about it in the group. The joy was spilling out of the screen. And I'm looking at the screen with coldness all over my face. Baby. This is guaranteed to last a lifetime. I pretended to pack my bags, and told Luna I was traveling and would be back in a couple days. She gave a faint toe. I guessed that she was getting cold feet at my place and would definitely go to Leo for comfort. Not long after I laid down, I received a reminder from the monitoring applet. ATM has to travel. Come to my house tomorrow. Wow. The little flying stick is coming to Xiang and wait for me. Oh, I've been so tired of holding myself back lately. Dogs and men. Really cannot wait. The next day, I called the surprise group at a cafe near my home. I assigned tasks to everyone. Who was responsible for handing out the flowers, and who was responsible for bringing the atmosphere. The arrangement was clear. You girls look good in photos. You must take more in a while. Don't worry. We'll record the whole process and make sure the pictures come out. I handed Ryan the prepared flowers. You do the flowers. Make sure you give me a great atmosphere. Okay. Brother-in-law, uncle and auntie. You two don't have to do anything. Just be happy. Luna's parents were all smiles. Luna's parents were all smiles. It's our good fortune to have a son-in-law like you. My girlfriends are holding the flowers and asking excitedly when the trip is going to start. They can't wait. I looked at my cell phone. Half an hour ago. Leo said he was in the neighborhood. Counting the time. It should be in full swing by now. I waved my hand. Let's go. A great number of people followed me into the car. I step on the gas. Adrenaline also followed the surge. I feel like I am about to charge the wolf. Behind me are my millions of soldiers. This battle. I must win. A group of people crowded in the elevator. Each looking excited. The elevator door was about to open. I put my finger to my mouth, signaling everyone to calm down and take their positions. Stand in the doorway and take a deep breath. I was so nervous that my hands were sweaty and I wiped them on my shirt. Her best friend was watching me. Snickering. She's mouthing off, reminding me to relax. In fact, I am afraid that my hands are sweaty. And I can't press the door lock once. So I'll scare the snakes. Tick. The door opened. Bef went in first. Tiptoed to the bedroom door. Just about to touch the doorknob. Oh wah. Honey. That's great. Willow's cry came through the door. The BFF hand was instantly petrified in place. Luckily Ryan, who came in behind her, was a reckless man. Seeing his BFF's slow reaction, he snatched a step forward and violently pushed the door open. BOOM. The ceremonial flower launches. Ryan just shouted. And then stifled his words. His friends swarmed in behind him. But when they entered, it was as if they were frozen in place. They were dumbfounded by what they saw. Luna's hands and feet were tied. Her body was wearing erotic lingerie. And her black stockings were torn. And Leo was hanging on top of Luna in a weird position with lipstick marks all over his face. That picture was too powerful to describe. Everyone's mouths were wide open, but they couldn't make any sound. Only the BFF who was playing the music and holding the stereo was still singing like crazy. This is love. This is love. The irony was palpable. What's wrong? I pretended to be surprised and pushed my way in. My best friend was the quickest to react and pulled me in. Alex. Don't come in yet. There might be some misunderstanding here. She spoke with a false voice. Each of my friends around me didn't dare to look directly at me. There was embarrassment and sympathy in their eyes. I pushed her hand away and walked inside. Everyone wordlessly and automatically made a path for me. Gao Lingfeng hurriedly took the quilt and wrapped herself up. Luna was tied up. She wanted to hide but couldn't move. She could only be watched naked by everyone. According to common sense, I caught the adultery. I should be furious and bloodthirsty and violently beat the dog man and woman. But I can't. My current persona is that of a big licking dog blinded by love. I rushed up and took Luna in my arms, taking off my jacket and draping it over her. Luna, don't be afraid. I'll protect you. Again with red eyes Leo questioned. I remember. You're the vice president of Luna's company. You came to my house and raped my fiancée. Why did you bully Liu? Everyone in the room froze at that, looking at their desire to speak. They not only sympathized with what happened to me, but also with my intelligence. Humiliation. I swallowed. The old me wants to be on the high ground. The game is to kill and kill. It is also necessary to be old enough to have seen the market. Tang's dad rushed up and slapped Leo hard. Dared to rape my daughter. I'll kill you. Tang's mom jumped to Luna's side. hugged her daughter and started crying. My poor daughter. She is tied up like this. She can't even call for help. Ryan also joined the fight without saying a word and gave Leo a set of shadowless kicks. In a few minutes, Leo was hammered to the point of being in a terrible state of disarray. I was so happy that I had to try to suppress the corners of my mouth that wanted to go up. Leo fell to his knees and begged for mercy. Stop it. Please don't hit me. Afraid that something will happen if the fight continues. Everyone rushed to pull the fight. Leo kneeled on the ground. Please don't call the police. It's too late. I've already reported it secretly. The police arrived at the door. Who called the police? I cried. Comrade police. My fiancée was raped. Leo couldn't get dressed and rushed to the police naked. No, it's not rape. We know each other. Comrade police. Don't arrest me. The police were embarrassed to look at him, frowned and told him to put his clothes on first. He turned to Luna and asked, "Do you know each other?" Luna didn't say anything. This question was like a trolley problem for her. And there was always one side that had to die. If she said no, then Leo would go to the police. If she said yes, then our marriage would definitely go cold. Leo cried and begged Luna to say something. Luna, I can't go to jail. I'm begging you. I'll give you whatever compensation you want. If I go in, we're both finished. Luna looked at her beloved kneeling in front of her, with her nose covered in tears. After a long moment of silence, she finally softened her heart. Recognize. Tang's mom didn't wait for her to finish, and slapped her in the face. I'll let you talk nonsense. Mom, I did it of my own free will. I love him. Tang mom covered her heart, and was so angry that she couldn't catch her breath. You want to be angry with me ah? How I raised you this kind of uncontested daughter ah? Oh, you and he is true love? Then I count what? The ATM also has a temper. I was going to be firm and get it over with. Thank you for abandoning me so violently, so that I could get back at you with a clear conscience. I pretended to have an emotional breakdown and sat on the floor bawling. No, I don't believe you. You lied to me. Didn't you? Why? Willow, we're getting married soon. It's been 3 years. Haven't I treated you well? Even though it was part of my plan. I was really sad. Years of genuinely feeding the dog. Who would want to end it with such a bitter revenge? The police couldn't look away either and patted me on the shoulder to comfort me. Tang Dad advised me that Luna must have just been confused for a moment. Everything is negotiable. Don't withdraw from the marriage. Tang Ma dragged Luna by her hair and beat her, pressing her head to make her apologize to me. Liu, I've been looking forward to marrying you. Even though both families are pretty much on the same page, I still want to give you a romantic proposal. I know you like romance and sunshine. I don't want you to have regrets, and want to give you the best of everything. Luna covered her mouth as tears snapped out of her eyes. I pulled a large carat dime and ring out of my pocket. It just seems like I'm a joke now. Luna's pupils quake when she sees the ring and she cries and kneels in front of me. Jiangsu, I was wrong. Please forgive me. Okay? Please don't give up the marriage. And let's have a good life from now on. I'm really just confused. I'll never do it again. I looked at her and let out a cold smile. Without hesitation, I threw the ring into the toilet and flushed away. Luna, we're done here. Luna froze and fell to the floor. Tang's mom was distressed. Aya, what are you doing? How much does that ring cost? Why did you just throw it away? All the people sighed over the big diamond ring. I didn't feel any pain at all. And I got a free shipping. I kicked everyone out, locked the door and stayed home for a week of self-imposed isolation, turned off my cell phone and started playing games day and night. When I was tired, I slept. When I was hungry, I ate instant noodles. And lived like the Walking Dead. I don't have to clean up the garbage in time. I don't have to be forced to earn money. I don't have to be afraid of being scolded for buying game equipment. The heart is dead without any hangpus. And it is also considered a light body. I opened my cell phone. Oh, hundreds of messages. The phone is almost bursting. Mainly all from the Tang family. When the phone didn't answer, they took turns sending me little essays. After all was said and done, it was just the same thing. Luna knew it was wrong, begged for forgiveness, and begged not to back out of the marriage. Ryan was even weirder. He was still thinking about my $10. Zero startup investment. He said, "A woman is a woman. A brother is a brother. You'll always be my big brother." It's like he's sick. There's no such thing as an impregnable wall. Luna's adultery has been rumored in my circle of acquaintances. There are also a lot of people who express their condolences to me. And spontaneously, there are those who help me to monitor the Tang family. I heard that Luna's parents took annual leave for her and locked her up at home to reflect. The family used to brag every day in front of their friends and family about how excellent their daughter is and how considerate and generous their son-in-law is. Now they don't even dare to go out. Everywhere they go, people are pointing at them. Before I finished reading, Luna's phone call came in. "Zhu, you're finally willing to answer my call." She said she hadn't been eating or sleeping well lately, and was thinking of how to apologize to me. Then she started reminiscing about our time together. How good I was to her. How much she loved me. And so on. It's clear to me that it's not me she can't let go of. It's the material services I provided for her family. Too lazy to listen to her pussyfooting around, I put my cell phone aside and started shaving. After shaving, she was still talking. I directly interrupted. "You still want to marry me?" Luna thought there was a turnaround. Excitedly seconds back. "Of course. Zhu, we have been together for so many years. I love you as a person. Even if there is nothing, I am willing to be with you." Good. That previously said 10,000 bride price. School district housing. Your brother's entrepreneurial fund all cancelled. Nothing. Will you still marry? Luna hesitated. "Let's give a little bit of dowry. 200. Zero is fine." I really admire her cheekiness. I sneered. "Luna, you're still dreaming? Now, even if you backward me 10,000, I will not marry you. I don't want to see my wife in the news someday. Having a room with someone and fucking the toilet to pieces. You've been there for a long time." I could hear her breathing tighten through the phone. "You've got a temper. 2. I'll pack up your stuff and send it to you. Don't contact me again." Without waiting for her reply, I hung up and blacked out everyone in the Dawn family. I was getting ready to go back to work. Just as I got to the underground garage, Ryan blocked me in. "Brother-in-law. Are you okay?" "Don't call me brother-in-law. I don't have anything to do with your sister anymore." He talked a lot about the $10. Zero business venture. He quit his job there. He doesn't have the education or the skills to get a good job. But that's none of my business. I pushed him away and got in the car. Ryan got on the front of the car and wouldn't let me go. "No, you promised me. You have to pay." It was a bummer. I told him to get in the car and walk. He changed his face, got in the car and told me about his business plans. It's all so unreliable. It's all left over from years ago. And it's a steady loss. I still have to coax him. "The projects you mentioned are good. But there are always nail households. And it's hard to tell when you'll get the money. But the wind of entrepreneurship is fleeting. You can't wait." I parked my car in front of Luna's office. Didn't Leo say at the time that he would be willing to make any compensation as long as he didn't call the police? Besides, he's still in true love with your sister. So go find him. I pointed to a black Rolls-Royce. "Look, that's Leo's car. He's a vice president. A car is worth more than $10,000. So it's no big deal to invest a few million in his brother-in-law." Ryan thought about it and thought it made sense. And actually got out of the car. I circled around the neighborhood. Found a corner with a good view. And stopped again. Not long after, I saw Ryan being pushed out by the security guard. He didn't know he'd hit the jackpot yet. Although Leo is the vice president, the actual person in charge of the company is still his old man. He was just lucky to have married someone's only daughter. He has a good position, and the real estate and stocks are all in his wife's name. Ryan won't leave and is still cursing at the door. Luna has already received the news and rushed to the scene. When Leo saw Luna, he even avoided them, not even letting them enter the company's gate. He directly told them to get out. Teehee. This ex-brother-in-law of mine will help them one more time. Took out my cell phone and sent a few videos to Leo's wife. His wife called me several times in a row. When I didn't answer, I sent a text back. If you want to know the truth, hurry up and go to the entrance of your company. Look again at the entrance to the company. The security guards are out, surrounding the Tang family. I can't leave even if I want to. A short while later, Leo's wife flew to the car, got off and cursed. Leo, you son of a bitch. How dare you keep a mistress under my nose? The Hermes bag with hundreds of thousands of dollars was directly swung to Leo's face. Have you forgotten what you are? You eat our family's food and use our family's money. And you dare to cuckold me? Leo did not dare to put a fart. Flopped down in front of his wife. I'm sorry, wife. I was wrong. Please forgive me. It's her. It's all because she seduced me that I got confused. Luna snapped her head up and looked at Leo incredulously. Honey, you know I'm a soft-hearted person. This woman pretends to be pitiful in front of me every day and tries to get close to me in all sorts of ways. In fact, I refused many times, not realizing that she kept on pestering me. Leo took himself off the hook. Luna was furious. Leo, let go of your bullshit. You are the one who told me that you are not in love with your wife, and that she is old, ugly and mean. Snap. Not waiting for her to finish, Leo slapped her hard on the face, bleeding from the corner of his mouth. Those present were stunned. Luna had a complete seizure and broke away from the security guard's grip and rushed up to die with Leo, and also shouted at the whole company. Breaking the news. Said Leo hid the company to eat supplier kickbacks and the two of them room money are gone company reimbursement. Said he scolded his father-in-law, but only when he was lucky to have developed, in fact did not understand the market, but also looked down on him everywhere. He sooner or later to the company into their own name. Said he looked down on a few other vice presidents. Not a bag of rice is a big factory cut down the waste of real skills, not much but also all day to pretend with a 280,000 the same. This wave of dog eat dog. Simply wonderful. Also burst out so many amazing melon is really an unexpected harvest. After that, it is all expected. Leo's wife decisively divorced. Let him out of the house. The old man is even more thunderous means to verify that he ate the company's kickbacks will also send him to eat in jail. Luna's side is no better. He has lost his job and his reputation. I heard that his family scolded him every day. Half a year later, I got the eviction money and started a small company with a friend. We developed a small gang called Beat the Cheater, which became a hit on the internet. Leo's ex-wife became my investor and invested $10,000. I became a new game overnight, earning $1 million a month. I also made a white and beautiful rich, second-generation girlfriend. The relationship is sweet and stable. Who see me not praise a life winner. Another year passed. I drove by a hair salon street when I saw Luna leaning against the door smoking. A red light was on inside the room. The locals knew this was a signal for special services. I was surprised and asked an old friend about it. At the beginning of the breakup, Luna was still dating. However, her family's requirements are very high. To have a car and a house, the bride price cannot be less than 10,000, but also to help her brother to arrange a job. Friends flirted with their family is according to your standards to find general people cannot see. Later, her brother was obsessed with borrowing money from loan sharks to start his own business and lost everything. Luna worked as a mistress for a rich businessman to help him pay back the money. Later on, the rich businessman got tired of her and found a new girl, kicked her out, and she went down the drain. It's true that once you've enjoyed the taste of getting something for nothing, it's hard to keep your feet on the ground.